I feel like talking. It was August 22nd, 2021. I was rushed to the hospital and I had COVID. And I didn't know how bad the COVID was. By the time I got to the emergency room, thank God for my sister-in-law taking me to the hospital. When I got to the emergency room, the doctor came and said that you have COVID, but now you have double pneumonia. You have pneumonia in both of your lungs. And she looked at me and she said something. She said, I'm going to do everything I can to save your life. I didn't know what the seriousness was till she said that. When she said that, literally my heart dropped. The first thing I do is begin to pray. I couldn't hardly breathe. When I walked up the steps, I couldn't breathe. When I go down the steps, I couldn't breathe. So literally it was bad. So I had to stay in the hospital for 14 days. And it had been in the hospital for 14 days. Literally, I had to rely, depend, and trust on God. First, they started off with me having the air tube that goes in your nose there. But then after a while, I had to put the mask on. So it got to a place where I could not even breathe without the mask. I was praying, I was believing God, I was doing all the things I know. And literally, it was one day I'm sitting there and I'm praying, I'm eating, just finished eating, and a nurse came in to me. I woke and she said to me, she looked at my chart, she said, I can't lose another one. I looked at her and said, what? She said, I've lost multiple people on this floor already, and it looks like we're about to lose you. So I began to go into a panic and couldn't hardly breathe, and I'm pastor tomorrow. You know what I mean? Couldn't think, didn't know what prayer to say. And like an hour later, the doctor came in, and the doctor came and said, "Hey, Pastor Mom, why are you looking so like you saw a ghost or something?" And I told her what the nurse told me, and she said, "No, this is what you need to do. You better remember who you are, and I'm gonna do everything I can to save your life. But I need you to do everything you can to save your life." So when she said that, it shook me, and I got to a place when she left out the room. I began to pray. I said, "God, I can't breathe on my own. You put breath in my body. God, right now, fear is trying to overtake my mind, my body, trying to take over every part. But one thing I know to do, when I'm all to the end of myself, put my trust in you. So in this moment right now, God, I give my life over to you." And in that moment, I felt the peace of God come over me like never before. Before that moment, days later, I was staying up all night, staying up all day. At this moment, I gave it to God. I said, "God, you are my peace. You are the one that's gonna keep me, and I trust you that you give life. I trust you for keeping life." And I remember that moment like never before, because I realized in that I couldn't do anything out of myself. I had to rely, depend, and trust in Him. And He began to take me through a process of I couldn't speak, so I had to rely on to praise and worship on Sundays. But that's why praise and worship is so important. That's why I thank God for YouTube. I would listen to our services and listen to our praise team and listen to my wife preach, go back to those messages and all those things. And it literally built my faith up, built my trust in Him. In these moments where we're living in, when we feel like the world is crumbling and things are happening, you have to put your trust in God. When you feel like everything, like in that moment, everything was out of my hands. There's nothing I can do physically. There was nothing I can do, even with my mind. There's nothing I could do but put my trust in Him. And I began to literally dig in. And sometimes you just got to dig in and say, "God, no matter what, I trust you. I know you're going to bring me out. I know you're going to heal my body. I know you're going to bring me out of hurt, pain. I know you're going to deliver me. I know you're going to set me free." In these years and times that we're living in, and everything seems like it's going us haywire on social media, it's haywire in the government, it's haywire in the world. This is the time and season you have to trust God. With all that's within you, trust the Lord. I just feel like talking.